Hi, this is Roger from Kanka Labs, and look what I finally got hold of. A kit with a so-called edge-lit or side-lit or light pipe display. And I will tell you everything about the kit and how it works. But first, why was I so after it? Well, these edge-lit or side-lit displays were, as far as I know, the very first displays where you could read, where you had a digital readout that you could read with really one look. And it was invented in the 1950s and used in the first digital multimeters. And still, until today, I think they are one of the most beautiful ways how to display numbers or time. And this little company here in Berlin, which presented this clock and some variations of it at the Maker Fair in Berlin this year. They put out this kit just 2 or 3 months ago, and I was lucky just to get relatively quickly notice of them. And what fascinates me and most other viewers is this three-dimensional view. Well, if you know Nixies, they're also the different numbers are stacked behind each other, but not so far apart as here. And that way you cannot see it very good on the display, but as the numbers move from front to the back, there's really this great little three-dimensional effect that makes the clock. I think so that way you can see it a little bit better if I tilt it a bit. And the kit is really a work of art. All the parts are laser cut very precisely, and the shape of the numbers is very beautiful. Second perhaps only to original Nixie tubes, but the shape is quite similar or nearly identical to the most beautiful Nixie tubes. And it's made out of each digit here has 10 of this laser cut acrylic parts, and of course the number itself is also kind of edged into the with a laser into the acrylic. And why is it called edge-lit or side-lit? Because here at these or below these two little tabs, there's each an RGB LED. Of course, in former times in the 1950s, they used little grain of wheat incandescent light bulbs. And I think the name light pipe is a little bit wrong for this kind of display, but edge-lit or side-lit is really probably the best description. And if to see what's below, this is not the main electronics. These are only the holders or the PCBs. They are not populated on the lower side. They have the 20 LEDs where you just cannot see them here on the top side. And as you can see, it's a little bit dark because I've turned down nearly all of the lights here in the lab so that you can see the clock better. They are daisy chained, so they are obviously the WS, what is it, 28, 16 or something like that, that are now universally used as RGB LEDs, which can be controlled simply by daisy chaining them, I think up to 255. And everything is controlled just with 3 wires, ground, plus 5 volt, and the data line. With this also laser cut, or with this PCB, which is in a laser cut case with a little encoder where you can set the color. You also can, you have one setting where there's a kind of rainbow display where all the colors, just have to find it. Yeah, there are 2 types of rainbow display. This is one where where each digit has a different color and fades through the rainbow spectrum. And let's see, where's the other setting? What's the other way around? Yeah, I will find it later for you. Yeah, this is where all the numbers, all the digits change with the same color through the colors of the rainbow. But I think that's a little gadgetry. I like it best in a kind of warm yellow-orange color, like the original incandescent light bulb powered Edgelit displays. So let's get back to a constant color, otherwise your attention will be turned more to the display than to what I'm saying. And inside the controller there's also a real-time clock with a little lithium cell. But you not only can control it here with the pre-programmed firmware, the software is all open source. They have developed an own basic compiler, especially for the purpose of controlling LED displays, and you can you have the source code for the clock, which by the way is called the CroNixie. I will give you all the links where you can buy it, how you can find it. At the moment, they are busy working in expanding their range of displays, and I emailed them. They also want to translate all the manuals, etc., into English. But assembling here the kit was straightforward, nearly without the kind of manual. It was just one sheet of paper where you had the instructions, but you really don't need very much because it's nearly self-explaining how you assemble. You need some time. It took me, I think, 3 hours to carefully assemble it and not have any fingerprints on the acrylic sheets. So anyway, this is quite versatile. You can reprogram it by yourself, so you have a little mini USB connector here, which not only gives you power either from your PC or a 5-volt wall wart adapter, but this is also via USB the direct connection to the firmware, so you can reprogram it from your Windows PC. I don't know if it's also possible in Mac and Linux. Anyway, you can reprogram this, and the basic compiler is very easy to learn, and they have a lot of other LED projects and really professional, really affordable. This one here costs, if you order from outside the US, I think something around 125 euros or dollars. There's also a smaller version, the S for small. This is the M for medium. So there probably is also coming out an L for large version. To give you a how large is it? As you can see, when you compare it with my hand, it's about the size of a hand, the height of the digits, depending on how large your hand is, of course. And even here covering the plywood with a golden foil, they really took an effort to make this really living room compatible, or the wife acceptance factor, getting it really high. So I think this also makes a great present for makers, nerds, geeks, etc. And well, I will give you a lot of links. Just a short story still why I was so eager for this display. There was another German guy, Jürgen Grau, who also sells a lot of vintage display technology combined with modern vintage display kits combined with modern laser cut cases, and I will give you also the link. And he also tried to make such an Edgelit display, and he was so kind. That was published in Hackaday and in the maker scene quite talked about. And he was so kind to give me the laser files, so I made one version of my own, identical to his one in the local Fab Lab in Aachen. But I didn't get it really to work, to get the lighting from below really even. So I wanted to show it to you, but I couldn't find it anymore, strangely. It must have magically disappeared somewhere. Anyway, so I forgot about these Edgelit displays, and now finally they turned up at the Maker Faire in Berlin and just readily available now, and I'm really happy. This is one of the, if not the most beautiful, let's call it maker clock that I own. Because you really don't see that this is 60-year-old display technology transferred via laser cutters to the 21st century. And everybody I showed this one here in the lab, they were really fascinated and wanted to have one of their own. So I think that is quite a nice addition for every maker, for every vintage display collector, or any clock nerd, or however you want to call me, or those who buy this. So, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up, and that was it for today. Thanks for watching. Bye from Roger, bye from Kanka Labs. Until next time.